Now, what was your craziest deal you ever had, Tom?
My craziest deal has always been like a building I sell, and then they want everything vacant. Like I just sold one in Brooklyn on Myrtle Avenue. We closed a couple of weeks ago. A $1.9 million building, and it's an SRO plus a store downstairs on Myrtle Avenue, Bushwick, Brooklyn.
Okay.
So there's like 25 rooms upstairs. We had to vacate every single
Every
room.
single room.
The seller had to pay off, make it off or pay off every. Not, I hate to use those words, pay off.
Pay off.
It's
No,
not,
I know.
Right,
It
he had
sounds-
in the old days, I don't like that.
Yeah.
How you doing?
It's not a
Tom?
payoff.
How
It's
you
not a
doing?
payoff. It's settlement.
Incentive.
Like,
It's an incentive.
incentive, right.
To move.
Yeah.
But we managed to get everyone out, but it took the deal to close 7 months.
Wow. Yeah.
See, commercial, 7 months ago.
That was another deal that the buyer wanted to get a private loan for that he was supposed to pay all cash. He wanted to get a private loan, and that was like 2 weeks before the closing. I was like, no good. I says, if you do that, this is our answer. If you try to do this, it's a breach of contract.
Mm-hmm.
If you breach the contract, your down payment money, you're not getting it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but
They says, okay, we'll get back to you 10 minutes later. Okay, original deal. Okay, so we closed. Okay.
So do you, like the commercial deals that you do a lot? I know that commercial deals don't go as quickly as residential, but do they move, like, are they on the market and then a lot of interest right away and then they're under contract pretty quickly? I know it takes a long time for the under contract.
Not
part,
always,
but-
no. It depends on the deal. Like,
Yeah.
there's sellers out there, they come up with this high number, and they really want to stick to their guns. And even sometimes I'll say, listen, it's not working, we got to lower the price. No. So I'm stuck with a situation that, I'm
Yeah.
lingering around for 6 months. Like,
Yeah. It's when you have a customer and you give them a price. Years ago was different than it is today. But today, as a realtor, we can give them an opinion of what we think you should price it at,
Right.
and hopefully, you get that price.
and everybody thinks they're educated.
Right. Everybody's
Everybody.
on Zillow or Trulia or wherever.
And-
Well, Zillow shows my house that it's worth 1.2 million. I'm like, okay, that's.
But
Zillow.
they don't understand. There's a lot of circumstances too. Sometimes sellers, they have to move very quickly, and they'll take a little bit less money than the house is worth because they're in a different circumstance. And there's a lot of times, they think that they can go way below asking, but we can see it was under contract. Yes, it's been on the market a little while. They got a very good offer for that house. It's not like they got below asking. It's just that it didn't work out. They didn't get the commitment or something out with the buyer, and they think the house is worth less, but it's not.
It's not.
I advise not that they're going to listen to me all the time. Do an independent appraisal.
Yeah,
Have an appraiser come down and give you an appraisal on the house.
100%.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to
Yeah.
no one else.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. You Get
It's a
an
few
appraisal
$100.
done.
You have someone
Right.
come out and
Yeah.
do it, and
It's the
call
best.
it a day.
Now they have it. There's no argument there.
Yeah, because I love when you have the buyer and you tell the buyer, hey, what are you going to offer? Okay, I'm going to offer, and this is going back in the old days, I'm going to offer, 25% under asking price. And I'm like, where'd you come up with that number?
And some number, like the deal
25%.
we just had, the deposit was like some
Crazy
crazy
number.
number,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
wonder where they got this number from.
And then you tell them.
It had 58 cents at the end
At
of it,
the
so
end
the
of it,
whole
for a deposit. I'm like, wait a minute. And I called Nina. I said, Nina, did you read this deposit correctly?
So it must have been a certain calculation based off of what they offered or something. But
Then they won't offer low. Then they'll tell you like they want to offer like 50,000 below. Then they'll tell you, okay, you don't want to accept it. Bring it up another 3. Bring it up another 5.
Yeah. But
Like-
years ago, you were able to do that. You'd go back and forth with negotiations. I had properties sometimes where it took like over a week to negotiate it, to get to the price to sell between buyer and seller. Now, it's like ASAP.
I think ours took like a week.
Right.
We offered a certain amount. They came back $5,000 more. We also offered like $80,000 below the
There
list price
you
in
go.
2004. they came back with $5,000 more. For some reason, I'm pretty sure it was my father-in-law said, absolutely not. You're not going $5,000 more. 2 hours later, the guy's like, I don't know what the seller is like. I don't know what we're doing here. We're fighting over $5,000. If you sign the papers today, the house is yours. My husband was a cop. He was doing a road job right on the back of the hood of the cop car. The realtor was there. I had to go sign the papers, and it was done. But you negotiate, you went back and forth a little bit. Now it's like sometimes you put it in an offer, you don't even have a chance
Things
to
change.
go up.
Yeah.
We have to keep evolving with the changes now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the old way.
I do too. I love the negotiations. I love sitting in front of a buyer or seller, presenting our offer and
Right.
having the other agent there. And,
Right, right.
Because they
look
weren't
at the
so
facial
busy.
reactions and
Because they didn't have 20 offers where they didn't have time to talk to you. Right?
Right.
Now it's like no one has time to talk to you. You can, like, Michelle in our office, she's dealing with something, and she texted the agent asking a couple questions. Nothing. She had already put her offer in. Just asking, are you calling for highest and best? Nothing. No response. Is there anything the buyers can do to make their offer better? What are the sellers looking for? Nothing. Won't even answer you.
I come from like back in the old days, like Vito remembers this.
I don't because I'm 25.
I know, but the agents or the brokers used to call each other on the phone.
Yeah.
I would like to, Vito, how you have that property? I'd like to show it, and we make an appointment. Show the property.
Yeah.
Then we talk about the offer.
Yeah,
Today
yeah.
there's like a Insta showing we have to go through in New York. An agent puts the showing in there.
I was like showing time. It's probably
like showing time.
Yeah, yeah.
We had showing time, and we switched it to Insta showing.
So
You guys use showing time?
Yeah.
Showing time,
He
yeah.
hates showing
I
time,
hate
but
showing.
I
But
like.
there's no more personal,
No?
Yeah, there's no
camaraderies between
Right.
guys,
No, not at all. But back in the day too, you had other agents where I'm not saying it was jealousy or whatever, but you had an offer and it was like almost they didn't want you to get that offer done.
Right.
And I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah.
And I
to save the commission.
or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at an agency, and somebody in the office had a listing, and had it at I think it was at the time $799 the house. Okay, this is going back years ago too, and wasn't selling. I must have showed that house like 10 times, 10 different people, and wasn't selling. Oh, what'd you think? I go, it's not worth that price, Now the market's starting to come down, not go up. And she goes, well, we're going to reduce it to $769. I go, not for anything. I go, where did the $799 price come from?
Yeah.
She goes, oh, I gave it to them. And in my opinion, you gave her $799 because somebody else probably went in there with a lower price just to get the listing. And I call that, realtors just buying listings.
Yeah.
That's what
you
was
can't-
done back in the day.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It was
you're
done
right.
back in
That
the
was
day.
the bad thing. Yeah.
That was the bad thing where, hey, yeah, your house is worth $799. Meanwhile, you call me, it's worth, $729. Oh, I'm going to go with her
Of course.
because it's
You want them-
$799.
You guys are under an umbrella of the Board of Realtors, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so we
absolutely.
are too in Staten Island. I mean, there are certain rules, but they don't govern nothing. They won't. It's a rule, but someone breaks it,
Yeah.
nothing happens. Like,
Well, so they start reducing the price, $769. I'm showing it again, nothing. $759, nothing. So finally, I get an offer, and I go to the other agent. I said, look, I want to present it in person. Well, no, you're not presenting in person. You got to tell me what the offer is. I go, no, I want to present it to the sellers. Well, they won't take a dime under $745. What's your offer? I said, don't worry about what my offer is. And again, this is going back in the old days, right? So I go there and I present the offer, and I'm sitting with the sellers and the other realtor. And the seller looks at me and she goes, Vito, she goes, I got to tell you one thing. You're the only one really showing my house. Nobody's really showing it at that price or whatever. She goes, you must have a lot of customers or a lot of people. I said, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's all about price. So I go, here, my offer, coming in is $700,000. And the realtor looks at me and she goes, her face is like now getting beet red, because I put in an offer for 700. I go, you guys talk amongst yourselves and let me know, what you want to do. I'll step outside or whatever. I come back in and she goes, okay, we're going to counter at 7:30. I look at the realtor. I go, I'm saying in my head, I thought 7:45 was our lowest price, huh? Now I'm saying, you know what? They ain't getting 7:30.
Because they know that they
Right.
have nothing else.
There's nothing else out there. I ended
Right.
up getting the guy the deal for 7:15.
I can't
But
stand
come on,
that.
I can't stand
that.
people.
Come on. You
Come
want
on.
to sell the property. We have a
An
price.
offer, right? Why are you going to
Now
play?
all of a sudden,
Yeah. Why are you going to play games? They're not going to take under 7:45. Meanwhile, I got the house done for
What do you want the realtor to
7:15.
eat some of that commission or something like
Yeah,
that?
come on, give me a break. But that's what I used to hate, sometimes with other agents out there, because again, we're here to help each other out.
We are,
but most
people
of
that
them
you have to deal with
are not like that.
unfortunately.
How are they in the city? Are they kind of like ours, where everybody's kind of cutthroat? They're only worried about themselves.
I went into a deal 6 years ago. Contract got signed. I was working with the buyer. The seller said, I want out of the contract. The prices went up. I want more money. The buyer said, no. This is the contract. This is the deal on the contract. So they ended up in court. 5 years.
No.
We're just getting a win now
Wow.
at the court for the seller, for the buyer.
For the buyer. Wow, 5 years in court. Can you imagine that? And now
5
that
years
guy-
Do they
first
still
year.
want it?
Now I'm looking. Now I got to get my
5 years
commission.
later,
You know.
Do they still want it?
You got to think about it. For 5 years, now the house is
Now
probably
it's like,
worth $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 more. Yeah,
Right,
Damn
they-
well, I want it now.
Sure. The guy who was persistent. The buyer, stood in court, fought it, won.
Wow. That's a long time.
Can
5
you
years.
imagine that?
No.
But think about it.
Housing courts, real estate courts, they take forever.
Yeah. 5 years later, though, you're getting a commission now.
I'm gonna get a commission. I never expected it. I thought this thing was just. I forgot all about
Bonus
it.
money.
I forgot about it. I didn't follow it up or nothing.
No. Wait until you bring that check home to your wife. Hey, look at this. It took 5 years, but this is what I got. We're going to get a nice purse for you now, because you never thought you were even getting that money.
But imagine they want to back out because the price is just like around within the few month or so changed.
Right. You signed a contract.
So they bought it for $450. Like now they wanted $550
Yeah.
because it went up. Now, like Vito said, it's worth
Right.
$8.
Yeah. Guy can turn around and sell it without even moving into it,
Yeah, but it's all he wanted. He wants to move in. He wanted to move it. He wants for him and his family.
Oh, but see, that's nice. I feel like that's good.
It's really good, especially now you got about $400,000 in equity in your house, and you waited
Yeah.
5 years to get
Yeah,
it.
hold it another 5, 6.
6, maybe.
You're a millionaire.
No, I mean, because you figure, like, all that time's going by, they would want to just move on. Like, you know what, just forget it. I want another house. Let's just move on and just forget this.
But, when you got somebody, when they put something in their head that, I want that house. This is a house I want to put my family in. I had the house for $450. And now this one, wants $550. Now it's a matter of principle. If I was the guy, I'd do the same thing.
Sure, and-
I'd wait.
But you have to be in a good position to
Oh, yeah.
be able to do that. I mean,
And the
probably-
guy's the buyer's cousin was his mortgage broker.
Oh,
So
okay.
all these years he's kept up with him, like to keep his
Mortgage.
record good.
Oh, yeah,
Record
yeah.
Keep his credit good. Keep an eye on his income. He's still there. He's ready to buy.
Yeah.
He's a strong buyer.
Within those 5 years, he's still driving that
He had to. He can't buy a new car.
85 car, because he can't buy a new car because he's got to worry about, with the
It's true.
mortgage coming in. His